Good morning, ladies and weebs. You have officially tuned into the marvelous effigy that is the Weeaboo Corner. Trademark. Today, we have a good thing going, because today's the day the children get done dirty. That's right. We straight up rolling in child trauma. Everyone gets done dirty. One way or another, dirtiness is done. But that's for later. Today we're back with heat. One banger anime after another. If you thought there was a weak anime on this list, my man, oh my god, you are sorely mistaken. We got the good shit. So why don't we just dive into the goodness? Comedy has never been more honest and real than it is in Chio's School Road. Relatable characters, relatable scenarios, relatable fucking everything. Have you ever been gaming too hard at night because you wanted to, just because you wanted to, and you was late to school the following morning? This is the real. Have you ever just wanted to fuck around on road but you lack the confidence? This is exactly what you need. Almost resemblant of daily lives of high school boys, this show revolves around Chio and her anxious ass, and her friends who we meet along the way, and their journeys to school. Almost never do we see the inside of the actual school, like at all. I think we see the teacher's lounge once. That is correct. This is an actual anime about walking to school, but there's a little bit more than that. Actually, there's really not. This show tackles the subject of a gamer brain who can't tell games from reality and often gets herself in misfit situations where she mysteriously and almost miraculously gets away with it. I've never seen a more ingenious example of pure alpha gamer movements before this show. It's got about everything you need. A girl who likes girls, a pervy sensei, a girl who's secretly an exhibitionist, a girl who likes teachers, a fucking gang leader. I've seen a full awkward human before, and Chio really puts that in the dust, because the amount of pure unfiltered awkwardness that emanates from this girl can only be described in one way. It's just who she is as a person, like personality-wise. The show maintains a steady course of coherence throughout the entire series without the high school boys level of skits and sketches. This really follows different perspectives of road to school pretty much every single episode, and even though I am very vague about this, every episode is actually so heavily different and varied that no two episodes are even slightly close to being the same. With so many amazingly diverse characters, the world around is basically just a road. We have some shops, there's some places to chill, some alleyways, but the absolute mastery comes from Chio's ability to fuck up every situation and get away with it properly afterwards. I've never like cringed and been excited to cringe harder in my life, raring to cringe, planning the next cringe, regardless of the big fact that the show's not very cringe at all, which what's truly cringe is the amount of fuckery Chio conjures up. The amount of bullshit that comes out of her mouth is truly astonishing, but secretly inspiring, because on the low, it's just smart the way she just improvises her way out. She can get herself out of any damn situation you throw at her just by being as awkward as she is. I've spoken about the character loads, and I've bigged up our main girl, but who is the best girl of the series? Did anyone do any JoJo poses in this one? Surprisingly not, but the best girl contenders are fire, because it's that exhibitionist girl, and that's about it. Wholesome, tiny cupcake, just wants to take her clothes off and run, but society won't let her. Oh, poor sweet girl. Even though this is in no way like an action show in title, we do find a final awakening somewhere in the first 6 episodes, as Chio exposes Madoka, the captain of the Cavity Club, as a full rug devourer who loves groping girls. Straight up. Well, not really straight up, but, don't believe me? You will, because she basically just fucking says it out loud. But the way Chio does it, the performance of a lifetime, the switcheroo, mixed with a gentle fist, Byakugan, 8 trigrams, we see a whole routine played out more dynamic than Rock Lee's kicks, as Chio Fitty takes down the queen of Kabaddi with her skills as a gamer, slides through Best Girl's legs with Madoka on arm, and just forces the grope, just forces Madoka to... the dirtiness, the absolute dirt. I couldn't believe it. I believe there was an explosion. God damn. The fact that Madoka is actually racked with plot, there it is, that's the line. It's a 2-1 in points. The lack of beach episode isn't really something that was on my mind, since the entire series takes place on road, so it really solidified my perspective of the series. So whenever I saw that they weren't on road or on their way to be on road, I couldn't help but still be immersed in the fuckeries, since eventually it just turns into less of, being on road to the people who are doing it. So, the show is filled with basically everything you could want in a genre, but almost resemblant of Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun in terms of emotional moments that is not really given a huge amount without it secretly being a joke. The exciting moments, on the other hand, start about 5 seconds in and are less suspenseful than they are fucking savage. I think the one thing I enjoyed most about the series was its confidence in everything it said. Like, it really meant every word, especially Chio and her absolute savagery in everything she says out loud. I once questioned why she has friends, but then I realised that I really surely secretly wanted friends like hers when I was in high school, because this is about the funniest iteration of a high school walk I ever damn seen. What about the music? What about the music? It slaps. It's full of Nozaki-kun vibe. It's got a banger opening. It's an absolute matching soundtrack for every situation. We have suspenseful music, chilling music. We have a slapper opening, music to celebrate to. Did I mention the opening? The biggest gripe I had with the show is that it's hilarious, but only once. And then the cringe factor of the scenario just kind of kicks in. So watching the series once over wasn't much hard as it was just fun. It never really loses its fun. The comedy was drained, but it keeps the excitement the whole series. But I think the real excitement comes entirely from Chio's awkwardness and the savagery mixed in one. Alongside her fucking dumb as shit mistakes, there has to be some kind of influence that drives her and the people around her to just continue loving her every day. Because if she wasn't the way she is and she kept making the same dumbass mistakes, she'd be dead by the first episode. I gotta say, you should at least watch this once. Get that gamer brain active, learn the techniques, become accustomed to the level Chio is on, and you might just fully understand what it's like to be true alpha gamer. Now let's count how many times I said Chio in this episode and give myself more work for this podcast. Chio School Road has no beach episode, no fully emotional moments, and thus it gets an 8 out of 10. Alright, so the first frame of this anime is Coochie. We're gonna have a great fucking time, because today we're talking about my first girlfriend as a gal. In this life, you are one of two people. You are either Junichi's friends, or you are Junichi. This can also go for prison school too. After man's friends give Yukada a letter for Junichi against his will, or from Junichi against his will, my man gets on his hands and knees to ask her out in person, in the full hopes my man might touch walls one time. That is correct. My man is a whole virgin, reaching for that hole, trying to sip that nectar, trying to see titty at least once. Obviously, Yukada is fucking disgusted by his literal yelling and writhing on the floor because my man has the dignity of Kanye West with a platform. She just can't help but fall in love with him. Of course. The story follows Junichi and his hopeless obsession with trying to be a decent boyfriend for his girlfriend. And Yukana, best girl from the start and my true love. Everyone else is basically canon fodder. Yes, this secretly turns into a harem anime with all the girls that flock to Junichi's feet, even though the man is a complete idiot. Secretly though, Junichi appears to be the only person who talks sane, being the most faithful man in the entire show. He still has girls trying to suck a hot dog and rejects them straight away because, he doesn't want to be unfaithful. Fucking lucky for him though, almost every time it damn happens, Yukana's right there witnessing the absolute chattery. Despite everything that happened throughout the show, Yukana and Junichi are always together, one way or another, and even though it's an ecchi harem anime, it's got a surprising amount of wholesome energy. The bitchiness is mostly just personality, but Yukana really is just a girl who wants this all to go well too. Here we have a girl who keeps up appearances the entire episode, and then the end theme hits and she's sitting in bed waiting for her boyfriend to say something. It is adorable. It is so wholesome. Junichi has multiple different Deadpool personalities. That's the nice guy. He's got the guy who wants to smash. He's got the nervous him that's expecting to be rejected, and it's fantastic. There is a coherent storyline in here somewhere, but I can't damn see it with all the plot in the way. There is no easy way to say that your grandma will love this show. It's got so much humour, and one person in show that will really make you question continue watching this. Needless to say, there is a vast amount of memorable characters, reaching out 8 in total, including Junichi's crew of perverted kings, Yukana and her friend, and 2 other girls that fully wanna fuck Junichi on main, bro. Wow. Openly and proudly, girls that just wanna smash my man, dude. How about that? Needless to say, the battle for best girl in this series is mainly based on how much a character is not trying to fuck Junichi, and it's mostly shocking that Yukana herself is the one person farthest from fucking the man in the first place, despite being his fucking girlfriend. Even though this is the case, I think that pretty much solidifies the fact that they're pretty much perfect for each other. They both stay virgins until the OVA, and hopefully after that too. But what's most standoutish about this show is the character design. Mostly that of Yukana, her tall, sleek build, her hair colour, the various hairstyles that she has alongside her different costumes and outfits she wears. Oh my god, and did I mention there's a beach episode? Yes! Oh my god, I'm so happy, man, oh my days. Following a king game, everyone gets part-time jobs where I'd say the comedy just fucking escalates to the most amazing level of parody. One of the virgin boys straight up does an entire Donald Trump speech and gets away with it. The most questionable decisions are made with the other virgins, and you really have to wonder how the show gets away with so much. But the way they get away with all of this is truly the most astounding thing. I want to secretly turn your attention again to the fact that our main protagonist virgins are genuinely dudes who are severely perverted and just really want to pipe. Either that or they're just incels with Chad personalities, but they are anime characters that want to smash and cannot. This is good character design and a full personality trait. But what truly astounds me most is that these characters, aside from the fact that they are pervs, they have distinctive personalities that really tell them apart. Keigo is a fucking weeb, Shinpei is a Chad with all the knowledge of the known fuckable universe, and Minoru needs professional help. The music is banging from the OP to the ending, and everything in between is extremely slice of life, wholesome fun. Despite all the wholesomeness though, this show had me out loud laughing real damn loud, with my chest high and no final awakening, fully gripping storyline or truly emotional moments. I'm gonna give My Girlfriend Is a Gal a 7 out of 10. Yeah, hey, 7 out of 10, how about that? Last time, we would talk about school days. Now, we're talking about school life. The most friendly, oh my god, you'll see all week. The deception, the absolute psychological destruction. This show has it all. Lollies, school, short skirts, an absurd amount of crazy faith and full realization that we're kind of fucked. That is correct. This is a slice of life about a team of lollies part of the school life club, accompanied by our lovely Yuki, who loves her school so damn much, more than anything else in the whole ass world, that she's willing to hallucinate the whole bloody thing. And now she doesn't even want to leave. Now she doesn't even have to. We also have Yuki, Urumi, Miki, Best Boy Teromaru, and their supervising teacher Megami. But what does the school life club do exactly? I guess they stay alive. They make the most out of being alive, making life just a tiny bit more bearable every day. Why? Oh God, I wonder why. Are you ready for the entire curtain to open up? Yuki is fucking insane and can't comprehend the fact that the entire fucking world is in a zombie apocalypse. What we have right here is High School of the Dead on Desert Madness. Fortunately for us, the entire show being a slice of life is a fully understandable, followable and coherent storyline the entire way through, so it's super easy to follow even if you are short a couple brain cells. School life is like walking someone else's dog through a park and it's rabid and it's got a muzzle on. You know it can't hurt you, you're damn afraid anyway, but you just have to stick it through because it's good money. Off top, the entire school is amazingly constructed in a way that we're always aware of where someone is when we have to. A lot of questions are answered before they're asked, allowing it to be really well followed throughout. But does this make it a gripping storyline if you don't have to think very hard about it? Surprisingly much so, because the real grip comes from the main amount of psychological madness that conspires outside of the illusion. A fair amount of the show will be inside of this imagined up reality where everything's fantastic, but what we are to assume is that there's minimal zombies inside of the hallucination, and that Yuki is simply immortal and can't be killed by anything while she's imagining. So that makes her either Jesus or the devil himself. When you don't think about it that much, the show seems somewhat gripping. As gripping as a shovel with oil on the handle, because the characters seem about as two-dimensional in personality as they are in pixels. They are nice to Yuki and they smile at her, but they know her problem. And they know she's a liability, so they're fucking fake, and I don't trust them. Because of the snakery, I'm gonna have to deduct a point. Surprisingly enough, even though we know for a fact that their actions of kindness are filled with secret motives of snakery, there is a full feel of pure wholesomeness throughout the show. We've got sweet, beautiful girl power all throughout, and as we're rarely shown a moment where someone deviates from the team that isn't followed by a swift question of where the person is, followed by a reasonable answer or absolute chaos. I think the most refreshing thing about this show is what makes this anime different from other slice of lives is that most of them are revolved around living and making experiences throughout the series, and this one isn't really much different except for the underlying theme of a zombie apocalypse. We don't really get a lot of living rather than surviving. I'd be an absolute brainless fool if I didn't feel some sort of heavy weight on my shoulders the moment the realization hits that we're not really surrounded by life. But honestly, that's to be expected, since the tone of the mood of the show are extremely switched up 180 the moment that the first episode ends. The curtain rises, the illusion is lifted, and we're introduced to the real world. Real world, did I say? What did you think that means? Obviously it means no one achieves a final awakening, which is fine, but the slice of life genre has always been a complementary dish that goes well with something all the time. Slice of life and ecchi, harem, comedy, parody, and even though this has a full lack of all of these, the psychological aspect of this really it gives a good path of character development in terms of the teammates and Yuki's heavy development into madness. Since no matter what happens throughout the show, Yuki's mental state stays at a base level and it doesn't really get any more sane, which truly fits the theme of fucking children getting done dirty. 2020, baby! Woohoo! Yes! We out here doing kids dirty. The worst part about this show is that it's actually not bad at all. Like, I had a great time watching children getting fucked over by life itself. And the music really complements the psychological backlash of the actions they gotta do to survive, and the legitimate horror that comes from murder regardless of what's being put down. Cause the real worst part of this is that these aren't just zombies. These are classmates, teachers, friends, fellow students, and the full weight of it is almost amplified by the signs that this could have been someone who was loved. Played throughout the show, these tracks are a fantastic mix between slice of life and, oh my god, we're gonna die in 2 seconds. So do not feel safe watching this show ever. This show has a full sense of security. This show is a full sense of security, almost resemblant of Madoka Magica, where the weight of life is really felt by the threat of death, or in the case of Madoka Magica, the reality of death. But the show is so exciting. It's full of such suspenseful moments left, right, and up. You'll never find a good moment to fucking breathe, ever. In fact, I'll go as far as to say just don't breathe. Hold your breath until the end of the episode. When you get there, that one single moment of relief, and you take that one long deep breath out, you'll be safe to know for a good fact, it doesn't get better from here. It never gets better from here. Sure, you might have a feeling that the days come a little bit brighter, maybe even a slight bit easier, but no, absolutely not. School life is a roller coaster from episode 1, and even though it's almost like fucking catfish for the first 20 minutes, the entire series has kept me on high. It keeps itself on high energy and personality, with all the characters easily switching between surviving and living. There's a sure sense of reality in the sense that, you know, we all know how to play a serious face and when to enjoy our downtime. So even though the show has no final awakening, plot, or beach episode, School Live gets a 7 out of 10. Woohoo! Yay! Girl power! Woo! I heard about Now and Then here and there from some YouTubers, and a good too many times felt extremely compelled to watch it. But oh my god, watching the first episode, this is the finest, most realistic and well-written isekai I've ever seen. We have Shu, who lives a fantastic standard life with his family. He's got a girl he likes, he's got a sport he's with, but on the day he loses the kendo match, he goes to the smokestacks, he climbs all the way to the top of the stack, and he finds a girl with blue hair and a cool looking necklace, who's a little bit quiet, but that's cool. My man just straight says full sentences to the girl when she's about a whole kilometer away, and guesses her name correctly after she mouths it one time. A lady and some giant robot snakes appear out of damn nowhere and try to kidnap the girl Lala Roo, and for some insane reason, Shu decides it's a fantastic idea to try and save her life. And he gets pretty far too, but in the midst of him getting pretty far, they got further and kidnapped her and him. And now my man is trapped in some desert world on a giant robot ruled over by this insane man-child, and all he wants to do is save Lala Roo. What a guy. So obviously he don't cut it, because he's a massive ass goofball and he just ain't up to scratch sometimes. He's got heart, but that ain't enough. Him and Lala Roo get kinda far, but they get separated and they lose the sweet fucking necklace.
Lost trip.
Then he gets kidnapped and basically fucking tortured for about 3 episodes, all because he's the only person who might know where the drip may be.
Big drip.
Why? Because it's a sweet ass necklace, of course, but also because the necklace generates and creates water out of damn near nowhere, and Lala Roo is the only person who can do it. The entire story, my man is done so dirty. From day one, he's done the rudest. He gets disrespected by the girl he likes and is rivaling kendo. He's sent to another world with guns and shit. He gets kidnapped and tortured. Don't even get me started on Sarah. Sarah? How could anyone do these kids so dirty, man? Sarah is another child from Earth, America even, kidnapped by these people because she kinda looks a little bit like Lala Roo. Kinda? Bruh. That ain't it, Chief. I couldn't openly say these characters are very much memorable, rather than I fucking hated so many of the people I had to see on screen. There weren't many understandable characters, but the ones with rational thought processes really got me the most. Soldiers who were children taken from their homes and promised to go back when the war is over, only to have their homes destroyed behind them on their way out? Dude, what the actual shit? The world building in the series laid out in front of us is really easy to get. That it's so easy to get that a whole monkey could look at this land and know kind of where we are. The desolation, the starving, brutal layout. Yep, this is the desert. A whole planet of desert. Apparently, because there's not much else. All it needs is a second sun and we can call it Tatooine. There just wasn't much to ooh and ah over throughout the world around us, but the world built by the characters was the most impressive. Since the characters throughout the entire world were basically starving and holding on by a thread, they made a comfortable life for themselves. They raise families, they have jobs, they love their lives, but there's one specific person that I fucking despise, and that's the main head honcho of the entire battleship, Hamdo. Absolute man-child that he is, controls the entire fucking army of people loyal to him. It's everyone's worst nightmare, all in one person, and he has all the power in the world. The only person who truly achieves Final Awakening is Lala Roo, and it's kinda hard, but the truest Final Awakening was when I finally felt happy that an episode ended in this damn show. We don't get one happy ending, any episode at all. Not one. Throughout the whole damn show, we're given grief, but that satisfaction right at the end of the series, bruh, oh my god. I never cried, like once throughout the entire show, but I was damn in my feelings and emotional about how dirty these kids are done. I've never been more angry for a character in my life, but they are kids. It's not fair, man, come on. The music in the show was ultimately meh at best. I couldn't find a real moment to appreciate the music as I mostly found myself clenching my fists at how much I hated the people in this. The show exceeds excitement with its gruesome, disgusting portrayals of war, but we have no fucking clue what's gonna happen with someone like Hamdo in the main seat. But holy shit, I low-key want to see the next episode just to see if this is the one where he fucking dies. I want to see him bite the bullet bad. I'd say to take the show with a couple breaks in between, since a lot of the time the episode is just fucking grim, and I had to take a whole deep breath just to comprehend what I'd just seen. I couldn't openly say that now and then, here and there is a roller coaster. It's more of a slow river boat ride, but the river's made out of molten magma and you forgot to bring water bottles. Fortunately, you can get off the ride, but you'll never forget the dirtiness you were done. With absolutely no plot whatsoever, beach episode or decent music, I'm gonna give Now and Then, Here and There a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Woo, woo, woo. If we're talking about snakery today, we have to get on Rokka or Rokka, Braves of the Six Flowers. So we have this saint who kind of defeated the demon god and dipped, dispersing her power into 6 people to give them the strength to defeat it when it comes back. These people are called the Braves of the Six Flowers, chosen by the goddess of fate, given mad amounts of power to defeat fiends and demons that are just trying to fuck it all up. We're following Adlet Maya, who is basically the strongest man in the whole world, who interrupts the tournament fight and takes everyone down, proving how damn powerful he is. But what does the king do in response? Arrest him. Bruh. Fuck 12. Either way, he's still chosen to be a brave anyways, and breaks out of prison with a bunny girl called Nashatanya, who we'll call Bun Bun for short. Why? Her full name is Nashatanya Loe Piena Augustra, but Bun Bun works fine with me. She's a brave too. We also have 4 other braves at the same time, and everyone else is given a task when they get to their checkpoint temple to do a thing and activate the barrier on an egg timer so that they can defeat the demon god and no one can get hurt. basically you have this temple, and you have to go to the temple, activate the barrier, but then the barrier gets activated when you leave the temple so that you're on your way to see the demon lord, and then the barrier is activated so that demons and thieves can't get out. Makes sense? I'm glad we're on the same path. So they get to the temple, a couple things happen along the way, and Adlet falls in love with a fucking psychopath. But there's 7 heroes. There's only supposed to be 6. Ooh, the game is on. Who's the 7th brave? The barrier that is supposed to seal the fiends out of the world has sealed the 7 of the 6 braves inside of it, and now we have an even bigger question. Who trapped the gang behind the barrier? Unfortunately for us, Adler is the prime fucking suspect, and everyone goes to killing him ASAP. And it's here that we get the most amazing demonstration of genius planning and theorizing that I've ever seen. Pure genius analysis from day one. Adlet proves himself over and over again, giving us the perfect example of someone who lives up to their name. The whole storyline, phenomenally executed. All of these characters are so varied and given such flamboyant personalities. It's so easy to tell who's worst girl and who's best girl. The answer is, worst girl is just about everyone. Best girl shows up at the last damn episode, so you'll have to just watch the whole series just to see who that thick piece of ass is. These characters though, especially the boys, all 3 boys, equally fucking strange, but Adlet, despite having long as hell red fiery hair and about the most normal in the entire group, we got a dude who don't speak much. We got a guy who pretends to be a kitty cat. Adlet's best boy. There's no competition. So, good fucking lord. Fortunately for them though, it's not an insult, because, the characters, especially Adler, they've stuck with me to this day. He's got a strangely alluring Batman level intelligence where he just figures it all out. And it's not even just hypothesis, it's trial and error. Like every time he's knocked down, he stands right back up, and sometimes he gets stabbed in the gut, but he's still chilling. He's still out here talking full ass paragraphs. And it's admirable. Everyone else can suck an egg. You got Framey, who you shouldn't really think about much. We got Hans, the kitty cat boy, Mora, the saint of the mountains, Chamo, a child who should have been done dirty, and Goldov, who doesn't talk much. Such a diverse cast of characters. I was expecting them to deviate from each other and separate ways. When I read the premise, I thought that was just going to be like a deception story, but goddamn. Watching this was a fucking trip that I never expected to be enjoying. The absolute world around this show is fantastically drawn around us. Every area we're led through is amazingly designed and even interactable. But a lot of the time, the world around us is going to be something you're going to want to focus on. Since the moment we get to the temple, the story truly begins. The first 3 episodes are just the trailer and gathering the Avengers. I suppose the first 3 episodes are actually very important, since it's necessary to see the journey of trust between these characters and what they're like outside of the stress zone. Bun Bun is fucking insane and will attack someone for absolutely no reason. Framey is fucking insane and will attack someone for a fairly reasonable reason. And Goldov really don't talk much, for real. He is just hanging in there. Honestly, there's actually a fair amount of fucking plot in this show too, since for all good reason, clothes aren't a real thing in this show. Everyone either wears rags, straps, or very nice straps. The important thing to focus on is Bun Bun tees, since Framey, be how little straps she wears, still has the minimalist amount of plot. In short, she pancaked. We even get a decent amount of emotional moments in this too, moments where we get some good character progression, feelings shared between characters genuinely making a lot of sense behind their actions, alongside a good amount of excitement moments too. Actually, a vast amount of this is genuinely really exciting. Obviously, the music in this show is absolutely orchestral. We have so much good music in this show where I don't even know entirely where to start a lot of the time. The OP is a slap. The end theme is kinda meh, but the music throughout the show is such fantasy world crack that I can't stop watching. Not just got the music, but not just the music, but the elevation. I was so excited watching the show, but realistically the show gives you every reason to be excited in the first place. We don't get a massive amount in terms of humour, but the whole time I was watching I had to see the next episode in full hopes that I find out who the 7th Brave is. We have such a genius level planning from the strongest man in the world, such Batman-esque savagery with his fight choreography. I thought I was watching an entire anime based on Eddie from Tekken, with an absolute beast of a storyline and the suspense of a lifetime. Braves of the Six Flowers, be it having no beach episode, gets a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10! Wow. Well, we made it. I hope you had a good run, because I had a very good run. What was your favourite part of this episode? Wow. No. Damn. Well, don't come to me if the police find you wailing in your degeneracy. My favourite part was when I said Chio 13 times. 13! God damn. Anyway, it's time for our most esteemed segment in the whole show. It's time for Best Girl Contenders. We have Yuki from Chio's School Road, Yukana from My First Girlfriend is a Gal, Yuki from School Live, Sis Yuki from Now and Then Here and There, and Yuki Relonia from Braves of the Six Flowers. And the winner is Yukana from My First Girlfriend is a Gal. It really wasn't a competition, really. Sis's actual name is actually Sis, and Relonia's name is still Relonia. It's not actually Yuki, goddamn. But anyway, I hope you had a decent, alright kind of time hanging out in the Weeaboo corner. My name is Weeaboo George, and now, oh my god, it's time. Oh, get the hell out of my corner. Woo-hoo. Bye. I'm always striking that pose. I got sun breath, that's heat spitting. Way I'm breathing that gold. Man, them ain't bout to stand. Sit down, don't get mad when I whip out the hand, but you ain't seen jack. That swag gonna bring out the world of the man can't move, so the man get clapped. You don't know about the arrow, pull back, shoot, go straight for your throat. But a nigga like me got the blood of a G, so you know that I got it in my soul. Got the jokes, got a spirit. Niggas ain't slick, so they can't get near, cause I stand too strong. Got the quickness, I may get with this, but I use bare hands to get it. If you thought you were getting off easy, let me get real with a nigga. Little feet nigga keep running, but you never get far with a stand this week, so I'm finna put it all back to the past. If you tryna attack last time, I put you down on the ground like Yamcha, and the next thing you say is, damn, say Raj, I have to go this hard. I'm rising up to occasions. I ain't even standing, I got the stand. You sitting acting all patient. You fell for my trap with the placement. I got the gas, come with the flames of my strike, come across by a hurricane. You looking passive.